Before we begin this video, I'd like to make it very clear that my first impressions review is based on my first 30 minutes spent within this timed demo, not the entire game. Not everything may apply to the full version of the game, as it even said by the game itself before you start, which I may make a review of in due time shortly after the release. I'll try to keep this mostly spoiler-free, but of course, the gameplay itself, it can be spoilerish, at least in the horror aspect, so if you want to remain ignorant on things like where jump scares, zombie locations, etc. are, then feel free to stop watching. Other than that, it just mostly consists of stuff that's been already publicly revealed. Anyways, we start off right in the main halls of the RPD. I'm not sure if this is where the final game will start us off, but this is where the demo did. I roamed around a little bit to find where to go, as it had been a while since I'd previously seen the demo that was shown, but I did find my way with at most a minute or two only wasted. I did some wandering, but with 30 minutes only, I wanted to get a chance to see as much of the RPD as I could. I skipped all the cutscenes because I had already seen them in previous demo presentations, and I hoped that it would not slice off any more of the 30 minutes of playtime than necessary. Of course, after you unsuccessfully try to save the first officer and make it back to the main hall, that's where the shit got real. And you know what? Despite having seen that section a few times at least in video form, this still really got to me. I'm not sure if the time limit contributed to it, but I was practically panicking as I rushed to find a way out of there, as I couldn't remember how many zombies there were in your way, or if any of them would end up coming from behind you, as this game often does to you. I ended up blowing through almost all of my ammo just as I got stuck in a closet with a zombie that nearly ended up killing me. Thankfully, I found some ammo and managed to finish them off. Well, at least I thought I did at first, because he finally stopped moving. As you know, when you shoot them and they'll go down, and then after a few seconds they'll get up, but he wasn't moving. So when I went to leave, all of a sudden right from behind me, he grabbed onto my leg. Moving on, the atmosphere does a fantastic job of keeping you on edge. That flashlight is definitely necessary to see anything in the dark areas of the RPD, which most of the RPD isn't lit at all. That's why the flashlight's such a key aspect of the game. When you hear a zombie, it really gets your blood pumping, as you never know if it's a previous body you've passed by standing up from behind you, or if it's right around the corner waiting for you to walk in. Sometimes it could even come from a room you've already passed through that was previously empty. This is a constant worry for the player, as you never know, regardless of how far back it is, when you will backtrack through a previously cleared room only to come face to face with more zombies. I mean, I already almost quite literally sprinted right into the face of one before my light finally lit him up standing up. It doesn't help your nerves when you can only see what you're aiming at with your flashlight, leaving plenty of possible surprises in the darkness. As you can see from some of my gameplay, there are plenty of times where I visibly jumped a little. Also, fuck this guy. I was not expecting a dead guy, so good job, Capcom, you still got it. I didn't get a chance to really solve any of the puzzles, as I was in a hurry to cover as much distance as possible, but I did glimpse that some of the classic ones are certainly there, along with plenty of new ones I didn't recognize. Near the end of my experience, I actually got kinda lost trying to get back to Marvin, as the layout of the RPD had changed slightly from the original game, enough that I got confused briefly, especially with how dark it is compared to the original. I wasn't sure how far I'd get before my time ran out, but I actually found out that when you get back to Marvin, the demo ends. So I clocked in a total of 26 minutes and 8 seconds of gameplay. After this screen, a new trailer for the full game plays before you're brought back to the main menu. Looking at this from a nostalgic point of view, there's plenty still there that fans of the original will love. Viewing files and notes found around the RPD they're still the same, including, of all things, the classic page-turning sound we all love. There's some classic puzzles, some unchanged, and some with new twists. And when I walked into that safe room, the nostalgia really hit. That room used to be my favorite room because it was the first place where you hear the signature save room track, Secure Place, which became my favorite track of the original game. I'm sure that when I walk into that room again, when I inevitably get the deluxe edition of this game with the classic soundtrack, the nostalgia's gonna hit again, and I'll yet again feel the desire to just waste minutes at a time just sitting there to listen to it. I can't judge the final product of this game, but I can say that from what I've played of the demo, it really does do the original proud with its elements of horror. It certainly has its anxiety-inducing moments scattered throughout the game, and I certainly got jumped a good amount of times. It didn't help, though, that my guard has been lowered down thanks to previous Resident Evil games having strayed recently further from horror games and closer to action ones. This game helped remind me, though, that Capcom was still more than capable of going in the other direction as well, which I am really happy with. I have nothing against previous Resident Evil titles, but it's certainly nice to see a return to a more horror setting like the original games were. In the end, I already planned to buy this game as I've been waiting a few years to see it now, alongside my friend who is an ultimate Resident Evil fan who has been waiting even longer for it. This demo just made me want to buy it even sooner. Until the release, I'll probably go back and look more into the demo, as I not only have an alt Xbox account, but I have a PS4 in which I can have an additional 30 minutes if alt accounts don't work. All I can say now is that a lot of people were unhappy that we only got a one-time 30-minute demo of the game and so close to the final game's release, but after playing this, I can say that the demo does nothing but even further hype you for the final release by giving you your own taste of the game. And it's not at that much of an expense of storage either, as on the Xbox One, the game's only 7 gigabytes, the demo at least. Anyways, that's pretty much my look at the RE2 Remake demo. I was already hyped for the game, but now after playing this and actually getting a feel for the game itself in person, I'm even more hyped for the final game. We've only got a few more weeks to go until the final release, and I'm certainly ready for it at this point. Anyways, this has been Warstarcy on the Game Clips channel, and I'm out.